name is Nicole LeClaire and I specialize in visual perception. Thank you very much for allowing me to come here today to discuss some theories and suggestions that I have on visual perception as it relates to your future job in the police force. As you approach graduation from the police academy, I hope you can take some of these psychological theories and apply them to your everyday encounters that you see once you're on the job. My name is Nicole LeClaire and I specialize in visual perception. Thank you. It's your first day on the job and you were called to a crime scene. A woman was robbed at gunpoint by an unidentified suspect. How can visual perception abilities help you to identify the suspect in this crime? This is what we'll talk about today. It's your first day on the job and you were called to a crime scene. Theory. This theory suggests that humans take individual features and match them to features that they have a template of in their mind already. So what is an example of this? Let's say the woman in this scenario describes the suspect as a medium-built person with short hair and is approximately 6 foot 2 inches. Of course, this can vary depending on person to person. However, this will likely lead you to determine that the suspect is male when you think of each individual feature that she described here. When you think of someone who is 6 foot 2 inches tall, they are much more likely to be a male than a female. Females tend to be a lot shorter than males, and it's kind of hard to find a female that is 6 foot 2 inches tall. So this can help identify your first clue in identifying the suspect in your crime scene. Theory. Template theory. This is another psychological theory of visual processing that will be very helpful for you in your careers as a police officer. Using a template, you can find an exact match. For example, fingerprints are an example of a template. When you take someone's fingerprints and compare them to somebody else's fingerprints, you will never find identical fingerprints. They are individualized and they are an exact match. Next, we will talk a little bit about how we recognize faces. It's believed that we have two different systems that we use to recognize faces, as you can see here on the screen. The first is feature analysis system. We use this when we see someone who we think we know, but we can't remember who they are. How many times has this happened to you at the grocery store? I know it's happened to me many times. Maybe it's somebody that you used to go to high school with or someone that you met at a party a few years ago. It's not someone that you see on a daily basis. You analyze their features until it finally comes to you and you recognize who they are. The second is the configurational system. We use this system in our daily lives when we recognize people that we see on a daily basis. This is someone that you're very familiar with. You don't need to analyze this person's individual features. You can take a look at the whole picture and you know who they are immediately. The most important part of this presentation is how this applies to you. How can you as officers improve cognitive functioning and locate the suspect? How can you take the visual perception of the witness and really apply that to determine who the suspect is? The first thing you can do is to ask the witness for a general description of the suspect. This would include height, weight, build, whether they're male or female. Do you know them or is this a stranger? The second step would be, once you have a general idea of the suspect's appearance, begin asking more detailed questions. What is their hair color? What is their eye color? What were they wearing? Their facial shape. Is it a round facial shape? Do they have more of a distinct jawline? Or what is their chin shape? The third thing that you can do as an officer within visual perception is to identify any objects such as doorknobs or anything that the suspect may have touched. You can obtain fingerprints from any of the objects that the suspect may have touched, and by using the template theory and template matching, you can identify a perfect match. using a combination of the eyewitness reports, anything that the witness can provide to you regarding a detailed description of the suspect, and any fingerprints that you're able to obtain can help you to evaluate and determine who the suspect is with as much evidence as you can possibly obtain. Thank you all so much for having me here today. To conclude this presentation, I just wanted to let you know where I obtained this information from. I obtained this information from the textbook Cognitive Psychology by Sternberg and Sternberg. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have while I'm here related to your job, things that you can do related to visual processing, or any questions that you may have on these theories. Thank you so much.